I'll add my own advisory to Ivor's. If you've been affected by any of the matters raised in this presentation, you're probably best keeping them to yourself. Right, the history of sex with inanimate objects, I suppose, could be taken back to Galatea and Pygmalion. Galatea was a sculptor. He sculpted Pygmalion out of ivory, fell in love with her, prayed to Venus, and she was brought to life, and they had lots of sex. Marina. Now, Marina in Stingray has probably launched sort of germinal sexual fantasies in an entire generation of men. There's a boisterous erotic literature based around her. Yuki Terai, a Japanese Idoru, fascinating phenomenon. These are characters who have pop careers, they have relationships, marriages, divorces and so on. They don't exist. They're entirely digital constructs made by pop companies. Early sex with robots. Robot Maria from Metropolis. She was skinned up so she looked a bit less boilerplate and drove men to licentious riot with her erotic dance. Barbarella, famously played by Jane Fonda in the movie. Deckard and Rachel in Blade Runner. I did have a sound file where she says, "I am the business." She was the robot. Of course, it's rumoured that he was a robot too, so maybe this wasn't human sex with robots. Robot fetishism. I had no idea this existed. Look at the tentacles on him. And Luke would really not want to know that that was his father, would he? Erika Eiffel, a woman who has objectum sexualis. She has sex with inanimate objects. She married the Eiffel Tower. Another woman with the same peccadillo has regular sex with a roller coaster. Right, we're getting on to sex dolls now. This is the Harmony sex doll, by Boy Toys. Notice the extremely Marina-like infantilized eyes. And the deeply unlikely cleavage. $6,000. But sex dolls aren't just marketed to heterosexual men. This is Nick, who's marketed to gay men and to women. Various willies, from the kind of quite neat and modest to the absolutely eye-watering. This is a custom doll by the same company, made in imitation of an EverQuest fairy. Now, who wants to have sex with a character from a video game? This is deeply disturbing, I think. Right, this is a sex suit which was marketed by, well, it wasn't marketed by Vivid Productions, a porn film company, which stimulates various areas of the body, but wasn't given an FSAA license because it gave serious electrical shocks while teledildonics. This is the science of USB-enabled sexual devices, so that people who are at distance to each other can have some form of mediated connection. Can't see it myself. If you want to have sex with a peanut, be reassured that this particular device was developed and tested by a former NASA engineer. It's got to count for something, surely, hasn't it? And this is another teledildonic device. Okay, getting to the thesis of my talk. These are Geminoids. These are front-of-house robots created by a guy called Hiroshi Ishiguro, which sit at desks in public buildings. This is his own Geminoid. And it's front-of-house services. They give basic advice. Now, there is bound, surely, if you're getting these realistic androids, there is a collision coming, or an illusion rather coming, between sex dolls and robots. This is the first sex robot. She's called Roxy with 3 X's. An interesting gulf between, you know, the kind of the one thing and the other. She's also programmed to talk about football 2 years ago. But the future of sex robots. Okay, so we're looking at a future with sex robots. They're going to be built by nanotechnology, so they can be built perfectly, incredibly complexly by these tiny, tiny robots. So we're going to get these sex dolls. It makes sense to keep the nanorobots circulating in their systems so that they can self-repair, so that they can clean themselves and so on. But what if you have sex with them? Sex is a fluid exchange, that's what it's called. And you get infected with nanobots. They will live inside your circulatory system, slowly turning you, molecule by molecule, into a sex robot yourself. So my guideline is, please stay safe and always wear a condom.